In this video, I'll give you a review and compare the Aqua Pro Vac Extractor versus the Mytee HP60 Spider. I'll tell you the pros and cons to each one, which one I recommend you purchase, and my overall experiences with both units. If you're interested in the tools that I'm mentioning, just check the description box down below. You'll be able to find my podcast, the Facebook training group, and the ultimate guides. Everything will be linked down below. Now here's going to be some clips of us using the Aqua Pro Vac and some clips of us using the Mytee HP60 Spider. So for starters, I just want to say it up front is that there's no comparison between the two. The Aqua Pro Vac, last time I checked, is around $475. The Mytee HP60 Spider is around $1,700. At least that's what we purchased it for. So to say that is the Aqua Pro Vac in terms of performance and quality going to beat the Mytee? No, but there are pros and cons that the Aqua has that the Mytee can't compete with, and vice versa. So let's first start with the main point that you need to understand is you purchase what you need based on one, your budget, and two, the demand for your business. Meaning, if you only have a $500 budget, should you spend 98% of that to purchase the Aqua Pro Vac, which is $475? No. should you purchase that even if you have a $5,000 budget if you don't have any customers coming into your business that make you need an extractor for your services? No. So base it off the budget that you have and the demand for your services. So if you have the budget for the Mytee, but you don't have enough customers to justify the Mytee, you don't get the Mytee, you get the Aqua or whatever other extractor that's out there, but base everything on those two key points. So if you're putting these machines head to head, the Mytee HP60 Spider will run circles around the Aqua Provac all day. The tank size are completely different in terms of like, I think the Aqua is like 1 point something, and the Mytee HP60 is around like 5 gallons. The suction, the lift, the wand, the quality, the material, the Aqua Provac has no heating element. The HP60 is heating, has a heater in it. They're just night and day difference. But first, let's talk about the Aqua Provac. So the Aqua Provac is a great unit. I've done hundreds of interiors with the Aqua Provac, and I've gotten great results with the Aqua Provac. So if you think like, oh well, man, I really want that good one, I really want a heating elements, I really want the bigger tank, all right, you can go and spend $1,400, $1,700 for a bigger extractor. But I was able to get time after time amazing results with using the Aqua Provac. The customers liked it. They didn't say, hey, are you using a $1,400 extractor or a $475 extractor? Because I really want you to use the $1,400 extractor. No, they said, hey, my seats are really dirty, can you clean them? I said yes, I cleaned them, they loved them. That's really all that matters. So whether you have the Aqua, the Bizzle, or Bizzle, however you want to call it, or the Mytee, if you know what you're doing and you know how to work it, it's going to work. Now obviously more power, more suction, bigger tank is going to make your life easier, right, with any of the bigger units. But just knowing how to use the extractor and how to do the proper process is about like 60% of what's gonna give you great results. So yes, overall the Mytee will beat the Aqua Provac in terms of performance and quality, but the Aqua Provac is still an amazing extractor for the price point that it is. Now one thing you can say that the Aqua beats versus the Mytee is that if you're just starting off and you're in a Camry, if you're in an HHR like I am, if you're in a smaller, tighter vehicle, the Mytee will take up, although it's not big, but it will take up more space than the Aqua. So if you're running a tight ship, right? You're running out of a Camry, a Mustang, a small pickup truck, a trailer, you will be able to fit the Aqua in a much more compact size, which helps out a lot. A lot of the things that I purchased over the years, over the last, let's say 7 years, does it fit in my small van, in my small little work van? If it doesn't, I can't get it. So even if I wanted to purchase the 8070 or the HP60 when I was working out of my HHR panel, I couldn't because it literally wouldn't fit. So a big decision maker for me when I was acquiring tools and products was, hey, is it compact? Is it small enough to fit in my van where I can still fit a bunch of other things? If it is, great, it's good. If it's better if I can afford it, but it doesn't fit in my van, then I can't get it because there's no room. Now the biggest downside to me for the Aqua Provac is not that there's not a heating element, and I never put warm water in there anyways. I would just use tap water as is, cold, really cold, room temperature. I would just use tap water. But the biggest thing the biggest drawback to the extractor is the tank size. So it holds about 1.5-ish gallons in both the tank and the basin, the one where it receives the water. And if you're working on just an average vehicle, you will have to refill quite often. So what we would do is we would obviously have it filled up going to the job site, right? And we also bring a 5-gallon container with us when we were using the Aqua. We still bring that container, but even more so when we have the Aqua. And we already have that 5-gallon container already pre-mixed with our solution. That way when we ran out of water, we would just take out the tank, dump it out, and then we'd refill the tank with solution, with water, and we'd get back to work. So that's the way we worked around that, where we would carry that 5-gallon container because it just wasn't enough. And plenty of times we'd work on average to really dirty vehicles and we would refill that thing 3, 4, 5 times at a time. So yes, it is an efficiency killer because you have to continually refill and you have to turn it off, go to the machine, unhook it, go dump the water, bring it back, get the gallon, refill, close it, go back, get the one, and get back to extracting. Now yes, with the Mytee, we have around 5 gallons. So it's a world's difference in terms of we can just keep on working and working and working without having to refill. And when we do refill, we're able to release the wastewater pretty easily because we have a little, we have a, what's it called, a hose that's connected to the back. So we just release the drain and it just pours out. We refill the water and we're good to go within a few minutes. So yes, that is a huge difference. But nonetheless though, that's probably, but that is by far the biggest drawback that I see. When you get the Aqua Pro Vac, make sure you get the 25-foot hose or whatever, the 23-foot length hose. Don't stay with the small one, like the standard one that it comes with. Because with that one, you have to have the Aqua Pro Vac right next to you when you're extracting. If you get the longer hose, you're able to keep the Aqua like on a corner of a vehicle and still reach all seats or areas that you need to extract. For the most part, you'll be able to reach all areas that you need to extract with. With the Mytee, we don't have the problem. We have it on a reel right now with 32 feet of hose. So we never take the extractor down anymore. We just turn it on, heat it up or whatever, and we just pull the hose from the van and bring it to the vehicle, and it reaches every single time. We've never had a problem, at least not yet, of the hose not reaching the vehicle. And we have the solution line inside the extraction hose. So that's like a super convenient way to have set up. But if you're using the Aqua, make sure you get the 25, I think it is, length hose. Yes, it costs extra, but trust me, it will be a difference that you don't have to like move the extractor around every single time you want to go to the other side. Instead, just keep it one spot and move the hose everywhere that you want. That's a pretty big difference and a pretty big added value with the Aqua that you can do for, I don't know how much it costs, but get the longer hose. Now, a benefit to both extractors that they come with basically the same thing is that the Aqua comes with a clear plastic head so you can see all the gunk that's being pulled out. That's great for social media, great for videos where you can see all that gunk being pulled out. And the same thing applies for the Mytee. I think the standard one is with that clear head. Now, a drawback to both those heads, the default one that they give you, is that it's a lot of excess water that you have to clean up, meaning when you pull the extractor to suck up, a lot of water, kind of creeps out the side, and you have to go and suck that up before you go to your next pass. Same thing with the Mytee. So Mytee has the same problem. Although, yes, the Mytee is way stronger, right? So that's obviously a benefit. But nonetheless, it's still gonna have the problem, depending on the material that you're working on, that you will have that excess water that shoots out from the side. Now, we made an extra upgrade to the HP60, and we got the sapphire upholstery tool. Now, I think we purchased the more expensive sapphire tool. Like, I think there was like a $500 one, but we purchased like the $700 one. We didn't need to, like, we could have spent the $500 one and had the same thing, but we purchased I don't say it's wrong, but I think there's like a more affordable option than the one that we purchased. But now with the HP60 Spider, we're able to extract literally any material with no excess water falling off. So that also helps out a lot because now there's no overspray of the water being that's being ejected out of the wand. There's no excess water on the sides of the seats that's being ejected. So now it's easier to extract, less of a mess, and dry time is faster because you're introducing less water into the material. So if you are in that position of upgrading your Mytee or getting a Mytee, I'll highly recommend you check out the sapphire upholstery tool because it makes it a lot more efficient and effective to have that type of system or that type of hose wand on your extractor versus the default whatever wand that is that comes on both extractors. I don't think you can put the sapphire on the Aqua, but definitely if you can afford it, or at least put it on your list to upgrade to that sapphire tool with a bigger extractor. Now with the Aqua, I can run it off of my Predator 2000 generator and it runs perfectly fine. That's usually all I ran. I don't know how much more it could run. I haven't checked. That's the only thing I ever ran when I had the generator and an Aqua turned on. Now if we're running the HP60, it wouldn't run off of the 2000 watt generator. When we're running it on the 3500 watt generator, also from Predator, that's the only thing we can run because it has the vacuum and the heater running at the same time. So that's the only thing that we have turned on. Fortunately, we have two generators. We have both the 3500 and the 2000 in the van. So if we're running the extractor and we need something else, typically it's gonna be the steamer. Then we'll take the 2000 generator out and we'll plug up the steamer, and we'll be able to use a steamer with that extractor. Now, I still highly recommend the Aqua Pro Vac. We haven't used it in a while because we have that spider, but it's still at least when I used it, like for the years that I used it on the hundreds of vehicles that I used it on, it worked great. Yes, it's not the best, not the strongest, not the biggest tank, no heating element, not the most durable, it's made out of plastic, it's all these things, but for what it is, and what you're able to get out of it, it's a great option at an entry-level cost compared to other units, right? Like the another popular extractor out there is the Mytee 1820, what's it called? 1820, 1080p, no, 720. The Mytee 8020, 8070. There it goes. The Mytee 8070, which is like $1,200. That's like one of the most popular ones, but it's still $1,200. So I still highly recommend the Aqua Pro Vac. I don't have that much experience with every single little extractor under the sun. I've literally just used 3. The Aztec hot water extractor, if anyone remembers that one, the Aqua Pro Vac, and the HP60 Spider. So I'm only giving you my thoughts based on those extractors. It's not like I've used 7 different extractors for detailing, right? So keep that in mind. But for what it is, I still highly recommend it. What do I recommend the HP60? Yes, but only when you're at that point where it's your business justifies that expense. You're actually gonna get the use case out of it. You have the vehicle that can haul that. You can, if you once you get there, like, I will recommend it. But I think most of the time people will sway towards, or it makes more sense to people to get the Aqua Pro Vac, not the HP60 Spider, unless you're at that point. A downside to both of them is if you always have to like coil up the hose every time, it gets cumbersome. With the 25 foot on the Aqua Pro Vac, it's annoying. On the whatever hose that comes with the Mytee, it's annoying, like having to unwind it and fix it and unkink it and stretch it out. So if you're able to, it does help tremendously to put it on a reel. I'll make another video on that, on how we have it on the reel, and talk more about the Sapphire upholstery tool. But that is one thing that's like really annoying. It's just like you gotta lug it out, you gotta push it to the vehicle, then you gotta unwind the hose. It gets really annoying, like especially when you have 2-3 vehicles at a time. It's like, well, not at a time, but in the day, it's like you just want to remove that annoying part out of the way. So if possible, put it on a reel. Another downside to the Aqua is that if you are working on a driveway with a slope, if you don't put like the cord underneath the wheels, or if you don't put anything underneath the wheels, it will roll down, or it will just like kind of maneuver based on the weight and the slope of the driveway. So that's something to keep in mind. And another big con to the Mytee is if you are bringing it down every time, I mean, it's not the heaviest thing, right? It's like 100 pounds, not 100. Is it 100? I don't know. Let's say it's like 80 pounds or whatever. Not super heavy, but like doing that every time and then pushing it to the vehicle. And if you are on the slope, you put you put the locks on, but still, like, it's easier to bring it down than it is to put it back up. And that can just get annoying real quick too, depending on the van that you have or the trailer that you have. So you really gotta bring that into consideration of like, ooh, like how am I gonna bring it down? How far is it gonna be from the vehicle? Like that will play a big role on like which one's the better decision. Not just between these two, but like whatever one you're purchasing. Like, are you gonna bring it down? Are you gonna put it in a hose reel? Is it gonna fit? How heavy is it gonna be? Like those things you have to take into consideration, because it gets very annoying having to bring it down every single time. Okay, but I'm gonna end the video right here. I hope I covered enough. It was kind of a comparison, kind of a review. I don't know, don't get mad at me if it's not like, oh, he didn't show us that. My bad, man. Just ask a question or something down below, and I'll try to answer it or make an updated video soon or something. So leave those in the comment section down below. And if you check the description box, you'll find the links to what I mentioned in the video, my podcast, the Detailing Business Class podcast, the Detail Group Facebook training group, and then the guides to start your business. All those will be linked down below. I'll talk to everyone on the next one. Bye-bye.